Senator Hoven, then Senator Schatz, Senator Bozeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for your service as well, Mr. Secretary General. We appreciate it. I want to talk about our strategic defense, and in two aspects. One's our nuclear forces, and then the Golden Dome concept. And if you think about it, you know, they really go together. In other words, our nuclear forces, the nuclear triad is what has kept any country from ever challenging us with any kind of nuclear weapon, right? And it's done that since World War II. So it's vitally important that we maintain the strongest nuclear arsenal in the world. Would you agree with that, Mr. Secretary, and also General?
Senator, no doubt. Our nuclear triad is the silent foundation of our entire deterrent effect. And that's why this budget fully funds all three legs of the triad and makes sure we're leaning forward and ensuring we have the most capable nuclear deterrent possible.
General?
Sir, I'd agree with that, sir.
Right. It is the bedrock on which all our conventional forces reside. So we've got to update our nuclear forces to make sure that they're always superior to any near-peer adversary. That's the Sentinel program. Now, in 2025, 1.7 billion was taken out, which we are putting back in through reconciliation. And there's 4.1 in 26 versus the 5 that was originally asked for by Air Force. But that's an overlap in terms of it's actually only 2.6 because that 1.5 is being brought back in. I want to know, and I want assurances, I'd like assurances from both of you that effort with Sentinel will be funded so that we stay on schedule with that vital upgrade. Secretary?
If you want, we could have Bryn speak specifically to that. Can you, that we are funding it fully?
Yeah, the key question here is a commitment to keep that on schedule.
Yes, sir. The Sentinel is fully funded. The only reductions in 26 were a reflection of the Nunn-McCurdy breach that the Sentinel program experienced. But since then, there's been a restructuring, which the Secretary can speak to.
And Secretary and General, y'all are committed to keeping that on schedule and providing the funding to do it?
The challenge with that program has been how it was administered from the beginning, which everyone in this committee is aware of, leading to the Nunn-McCurdy breach, leading to an understanding of how we do it properly. We are putting our best people with a daily focus on this program to get it back on track because that's how important it is.
So you are committed to keeping it on schedule. And on Nunn-McCurdy, General the Air Force, I want to commend. They've done some good work, and we've worked closely with them. But we need a commitment to keep the funding going to keep them on schedule as well, with the revisions based on Nunn-McCurdy.
The funding is there, Senator. It will be incumbent on the service and others to keep that on track. But it is not, thus far, been a program that's done that.
Right. But I'm not criticizing you. I'm trying to make sure you're committed to keeping that funding in place to do it. Is that the case?
The funding is in the budget for FY26 completely.
Okay. General?
Sir, I'm guessing you know that in my job, I don't actually fund anything. I just recommend and advocate for. So I'm going to defer to my bosses to the left on the.
I understand, but there's a difference between what you all in the Air Force have asked for and what's in the budget.
Yes,
I
sir.
understand the Nunn-McCurdy adjustments. I just want to make, and we're working closely with Air Force, and we'll continue to. I just want to make sure the commitment's there.
Sir, you've got my support to continue to advocate for the program through the Air Force and through the chief and the secretary down there.
Thank you, sir. And then I want to flip to the other side of the coin, which now is Golden Dome. I mean, we've got the nuclear forces, so nobody ever tries to fire a missile at us, right? And then with the Golden Dome, it's, well, I guess if they do, we're going to take it out. Now, in that regard, you've got a number of programs that are critically important to our capabilities to make sure that we have better technology for our forces than our near peer. So, for example, TRMC, Test Resource Management Center at Air Force, we're now developing the Sky Range program at the Grand Forks Air Force Base, which enables us to test hypersonic missiles. I wonder, George Rumford leads that program. I wonder, understand your commitment to that program. To drone, counter drone, which we're seeing is so important. And again, we've got both a test site as well as Grand Sky Technology Park on the Grand Forks Air Force Base. Your commitment to upgrading ISR, not just trying to do everything from satellites. So think next gen ISR, taking beyond Global Hawk, right? Which you need in places like, whether it's supporting Ukraine or certainly in the Middle East, and like the very good work you did taking out the Houthis and putting a stop to that nonsense, okay? And then also SDA and the low Earth orbit satellites. Starting with you, Secretary, talk about your commitment to those programs. And if you agree, they're vitally important, both in terms of achieving Golden Dome, but in terms of our near-peer challenges, in terms of maintaining our capabilities, our superiority. And same thing, General, I would put the same question to you as well.
Well, Senator, I certainly agree about your lens. Your lens is near-peer adversaries, capabilities to threats, and defending the homeland. Things like hypersonics, like UAS, counter-UAS, ISR, critical to that. That's why there's robust increases in those budgets in all of those places, both for how they might be applied in the Indo-Pacific or elsewhere, but also integrated into the Golden Dome.
Thank you.
Senator Schatz, and then Senator
Could the General
Bozick.
respond?
So I'd echo the Secretary's response. The effects are the key, and we'll stay close on the effects that you're trying to achieve, and I appreciate your advocacy for those effects.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to work very hard to make sure that we have resources going into those programs, because that's where, as they say in hockey, that's where the puck's going.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll take all resources at all times, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Secretary, thank you for being here. Good to meet you.